Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another road edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on a Thursday, and we are at the wickedest stop on the Lunchbox tour, Wicked Cheesesteaks, subs, pizza, wings, and more, and it is a jam-packed party show today, Jeff.
Got a lot of people coming on. Yeah,
you want to give people the rundown of what's going to be happening?
Well, I don't know. You have a couple of scrubs coming in from your high school days or Sentinel days. Lubie is neurotic. He's psychotic already. We haven't even gotten started yet. And on the side here, off camera, but about to come in pretty soon.
Surprise mystery
Tony
guest.
Segreto at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Yes.
There he is.
He's
there he is.
He's going to
photobombing the show, and he's got a lobster roll on our recommendation. Now, this is a New England guy. He spends a lot of time in Vermont. He cruises up to Maine. He gets the good lobster rolls on the side of the road.
We're going to get his unvarnished opinion soon. He's going to join us.
And look at that thing. I mean, that looks
nobody
good,
can see
Tony.
that.
Wow.
But we also have.
Let me show this quick display
we
here.
have the beautiful cheesesteak pizza that he's doing now here, Brian.
Look at this thing.
His wife Sonata.
Oh my
you
God.
hold that up. We got
that's real lobster in it.
Again, Brian.
Fresh. He does it. He boils it every day.
Got me a slice of that
He
pizza
just
there,
told
right,
me.
now, what is Lubie doing first of all?
Well, first of all, we've got Lubie here. He's been possessed by the Mayo demons today. He's got a cup of glop he almost poured it all over his lap. That would have been a good party trick. He's got the cheese whiz, what they call the whiz.
Slice of pizza, please.
Come here.
Before he throws the goddamn pizza all over the place.
He is worked up today.
You guys are stressing me
Mike
out.
Lubie
is at maximum stress level.
You guys are stressing me out, man.
He just cashed a
you guys are,
check.
it's like the show magically happens. No, I do a lot of work before the show happens.
And
you guys just come in. Oh, it's so easy. No, it's not actually.
This
so
man,
anyways,
he hatched an idea. He wants to take, since it's a
Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Yes, a lot of people from Philly like their cheesesteaks at what they say with whiz. Yes. Cheese whiz, a horrendous product that belongs on the chili dogs that I've been consuming all week, whether it's been in New Orleans and not to New Orleans today. With this root beer collection, I picked up an Abita root beer. Everybody knows Abita Brewery for their fine alcoholic beverages like the Abita Turbo Dog and Purple Haze, which I drank a few of those in New Orleans. But today I'm having the Abita root beer. He's got the outstanding root beer collection. But meanwhile,
this is absolutely great. I love this.
We've got Mike Lubie Lubitz playing the role of Mike Mayo, utterly defacing a slice of pizza, which already has mozzarella, beautiful grande cheese that he uses here. He's now throwing on the whiz, and we're going to now let this kind of
shoveled it in his mouth.
Cheese whiz is one of those wonderful products.
It's not wonderful. I don't know what it's made out of.
It's one of those things that could also double as caulk in your bathroom. So, like, you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit with Dan Aykroyd where it's a floor polish? No, it's a dessert topping. It's both. It's cheese whiz. It's both a cheesesteak topping, and it can also be used to caulk bathroom fixtures and various things around the house if it needs that. How is it, Mike?
It's so funny because Brian does a lot of these, like they try things. I guess he has a new employee. I need to get his name to be totally respectful to the gentleman, but he wanted to try a Philly cheesesteak pizza. And a lot of the things Brian does, you're like, a chicken parm pizza, like, why are we doing that? And then you eat it, you're like, okay, now I know why we're doing that. Like, this is really good. I really enjoyed this.
This is fantastic.
And that's the thing what we've talked about with Philly cheesesteak sometimes is it can be too much. And a pizza, this is a lot easier shareable. Like, you can have this with someone else. It's hard to share a cheesesteak. Like, I think this is a great idea, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I will try it without the cheese whiz, but I'm not going to lie, I enjoy it with it.
What does the cheese whiz bring to the pizza slice?
Well, why don't you try a little? Just dip a piece in there. Go ahead, Louis. Send that over.
I can't quite reach it for some reason.
Oh, there we go. Louis, put it away.
Now,
It just overtakes everything. That's
is
the
anybody
problem
else
with
going to
Cheez
be having this? Because
Yeah,
I
you
might.
know what, I'll take a.
Okay,
like a
I'm
little
gonna
dip
put it.
here.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
put it on the plate, or you want it on?
Right on.
You want a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
dipping?
yeah.
This stuff is really.
It's
It's
very
thick, man.
rich.
It's,
It's very strong and thick.
We
This
want to
is
give
a
a
good variety of it.
This
we
is
wanna
the
give
real
a-
Do we have
deal
a
whiz.
fork or something? No. Okay, now you got
Oh
it.
wow, look at that stuff! It's like the Dairy Queen Blizzard.
there you
It
go,
is
there you
like
go.
barely
Okay,
coming out. All right,
very
I'm
nice.
gonna do one too, and we're gonna do this in honor of our friend and producer. Honorary producer Jim Sarney, who is, I think, across the street today at Holy Cross Hospital having another procedure on his heart. And as soon as I ingest this, it might also be requiring
I
some
have to say, it
defibrillators.
actually adds something to it.
There's a component now. We
Yeah.
might have hit on something, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and behind every great idea is a weird, wacky.
It's a guy who's stoned. I mean, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
It actually does, right?
it brings
As good as it was, it made it a little better.
I'm going to say, because this pizza doesn't have any tomato sauce on it,
Yeah.
it lacked a little bit of a salinity, the salt, and the cheese whiz brings
lacked a little salinity.
the cheese whiz brings the salt level up and the creaminess up. Mike Lubie Lubitz, I genuinely flipped before
Lubie
the
discovered something brilliant here.
I'm just
Nice.
gross. I never said I wasn't gross.
Nice job, Lubie.
It doesn't need it,
It
but I like
works.
it.
totally works.
Hello.
Again, Wicked Cheesesteaks
We're
is at
wicked.
4826
Always
North Federal
something
Highway.
innovative here, though, coming
There's
from
always
Brian. It's
something with
amazing.
Brian. And
Well,
his people.
Brian is a nut, and it leads us to the next question, which is, Brian is always constantly innovating, and he at one point had sandwiches named for both Defo and me on the menu.
Mine didn't last long.
And mine, unfortunately, I don't know if you can play the
Oh, I
Tabs
can,
tune,
yeah.
but the Mike Mayo sandwich, which was born in 2023, has now died at age 1.
Did it make
in
one?
2024, it didn't even make
Didn't
one.
It was very
one.
popular.
It was
for
in
a brief
an
period of
infant.
time. It really was.
It was like one of those just tragic, babies in Alabama that were
Oh, Jesus.
thrown in the
Don't go
freezer.
gross.
Don't go there.
Don't go
IVFs.
gross.
Okay. No, Brian, look, everybody who is a food lover knows that the true sandwich of Philadelphia should be the roast pork with provolone and broccoli rabe. However,
Everybody doesn't know that.
No,
nobody,
that's true.
Just
this-
the
Philadelphia people do like
pseudo-intellectuals that follow you.
foodies,
Yeah.
which is a big part of our audience.
That's true.
They do realize this, and unfortunately, not enough of them realize it. Because Brian said he enjoyed making them, even though they were a bit labor intensive. The pork was a different kind of product, a little bit easier to procure in terms of the price point, but it just didn't sell, and he thinks people were put off by the whole notion of broccoli rabe, which
Could have been
can be
the
bitter.
name. The name.
Could have been the name.
If
That
you called
doesn't
it the
end up for
pork
Mike Mayo.
sandwich,
But
it might have sold.
Talk about a name matching the ingredients, because broccoli rabe, people get a little scared off because it can be a little bitter,
Yes.
like myself. But when you put it in the oven and dunk it with a little garlic juice, it really mellows
Yeah, that
it
was
out.
a good sandwich.
I
There's
like
no
the
doubt.
sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to Philly, I'm probably getting a cheesesteak over that. But there was nothing wrong with that sandwich. It was a good sandwich.
Well, that rests in peace, along with Ann Bishop.
Why did we bury Ann Bishop again? I mean, because Segreto.
Oh, right.
Because she just got inducted into the Hall of Fame that Tony invented.
Yeah, he was
for
like the
God's
first
sake,
person in.
And they're like making this big deal. Ann Bishop, all due respect, may she rest in peace.
Yes, she was a pioneer. Great
She was in the
broadcaster.
fetal position the minute Tony got switched from sports to news. And
Quaking
never
in her
recovered.
boots. What
Never
was the
recovered.
ratings back then? I don't even know. We'll talk with
That's
Tony in a
He'll be
minute.
on the next segment.
And
Ratings would come out, Tony be on his yacht, popping champagne like he was the Wolf of Wall Street. It was amazing.
oh man. So now I've gotten totally lost and
That's
confused.
all right.
Thank you, Defo.
You were
I'm
talking
still a little bit.
cheesesteaks, yeah.
Well, I was talking cheesesteaks, and now, broccoli rabe, maybe a little bit bitter, but I had a broccoli rabe and sausage pizza last
with our
night.
guy Reno.
Our friend Reno at Heritage, although he wasn't there last
I
night.
love that.
Guess
What-
where
what
he
was that?
was?
What was the story? on
But what was the
story?
move that you
Yeah.
tried to pull? That you
I
said
didn't
Reno's
pull
on.
any moves.
You said Reno's onto it. You said those words. Reno is onto it.
I was being facetious.
You're such
I
a
just-
liar.
I was not trying to get any
Yeah,
comps.
right.
Again, my friend Ben came in from out of town, and Val and I said, we're going to have a nice dinner.
Okay.
And we were able to get a table. But when I texted Reno, said, hey, can we get in there? Because, again, the place is always so packed,
packed.
there that it didn't show any availability
Heritage,
until
yeah, the
9:30 p.m. They were able to get us in there right at 7:30.
Nice.
And he said, but I'm not there tonight. Kevin's going to take great care of you, and he did. One of his staff is amazing.
Any
over there.
freebies?
No, but
Nothing?
that's
But
so
when Reno's there,
Reno,
what is the treatment you get?
Okay, he was at a concert last night, and
Oh, nice.
tell me if you're surprised by this, Defo DeForest.
Some kind of heavy metal thing.
Brian Adams.
No,
Yeah, all right.
Reno Sorbonne was at Brian Adams.
That is not heavy metal. That is what I call like 80s
our friend Professor
bubblegum pop. Or
it's like his bottom 5 artists ever. Ken can't stand Brian
There
Adams.
had to be a woman involved.
Yeah, was it a
when
girl?
I expressed surprise about why he
Brian
would be
Adams.
going, number one, it's at the Panthers Arena, so
So
I
he probably got
assume
hooked up,
because of
yeah.
his brother-in-law
Yeah.
Roberto
Tickets
Luongo
weren't
that
involved,
he
yeah.
was able to score a couple of
So he
comps.
pulled a Mayo.
And I was like, I just don't peg you as a Brian Adams fan. He goes, lots of hot divorced women.
Oh, good for him. Okay. Yeah, see, there's always
All
an
right.
angle, and that's fine. At least we understand that.
I don't know if he was kidding or not, but
100% being
he was
honest.
not there. The meal was great, but the thing is, they just put on this new pizza on the menu there. And what I love about places like these, not like these corporate places where you got to run it up the ladder
Yep,
and get
yep.
approval by 8 executives
Yep.
and taste test it with consumers in Columbus, Ohio. Like, they played around in the kitchen, him and his staff and pizza makers, and they made this sausage, broccoli rabe with a garlic confit, and it's fontina cheese, a white pizza, no sauce, but the
Nice.
garlic confit gives it that little bit of juiciness, and then they slick it with a little olive. It was, and the dough there, in the past I've been a little bit critical because his dough didn't know what it wanted to be.
What
Was
does
it a
that
New
mean?
York slice? Was it a Neapolitan slice?
Oh.
Was it kind of a little bit chewier in the middle? This last night was a perfectly thin, crisp pizza that the flavors were just totally on point, blew us away. And props to everybody there at Heritage.
I never
did
had
pay-
those thoughts that you had about the dough.
Yeah, I thought
At
it was
Heritage.
great. I didn't
mean,
even
the
think
first
to
pizza I
dissect
had
the
there was
dough.
fantastic.
Yeah, well, me,
Everything else that we tasted there was amazing.
I like, I do like Neapolitan pizza. I like this pizza. I would call this pizza here a little more on the chewier, doughier
Yeah, it's more
side,
doughy.
which
Yeah.
is fine.
But
I
it's
mean,
delicious. And Lubie hit on something. The cheese makes it.
the cheese
It
totally
really
makes
does.
it.
It actually makes
I
the
am
whole
now
pizza.
gonna.
So you guys
I'm
annihilated
actually
all
gonna
my
just
cheese
put my
whiz.
finger in.
Oh,
here.
geez.
Now
Look
I
at
need
this
to go
guy.
get more cheese whiz.
Who knows where that finger was earlier this morning? I mean, please. Mayo.
Jesus, I'll get more.
It was.
I'll get more cheese whiz.
It was with the great 8th graders at the university school, Nova University.
But you were there to be an example.
You were teaching
What were
kids
you there for?
how
This
to
is
be a
slightly-
journalist. I mean,
Were you in the
what
back of the class, in the class clown? Like, what was your
This was
goal and
slightly
job
incredible. For 2 years running, even though I don't have any affiliation with the university school. They
Tony's
have-
on like the board of directors.
They have
Yes.
they have a
Nova, yeah.
career day for 8th graders as these kids are starting to think about what
Yeah,
to
yeah.
study and what maybe they might want to be later in life. For some reason, they invited me the last 2 years. And
To
they
do
put
what?
me. They put me. and then when I described what I do, it was really kind of incredible to hear
Well, they
myself
must love
say.
you, yeah.
They said, "What's your typical day like?" I said, "Well, I get up and ridicule people on the Let's Eat group as an admin, and then
And
I
you
go
go get a
around
free
to
lunch
a
somewhere,
a
yeah.
lunch and get a free lunch, and then I go to dinner and try to get the dinner for free."
Well, you've actually done. We talk about Jason Colot, our friend, that has worked the new age of media as well as anyone, where
Yeah.
he always moves right before an organization has trouble and hits a nice
Just when they're
score.
about to fall. Yeah.
You sort of, I mean, look, in your own way, you move from sports to news, realize, oh, this is a lot. Let me just do food. Realize, okay, they're going to pay me to quote unquote retire. And now I can do my own thing. Like if I was a kid, that would sound like a nice route. Like, I don't know how.
Oh, any kid would
Much
want
you
to
can
follow in your
copy
footsteps.
that,
I mean, if
but-
they didn't have to be you, I mean, they would want to follow in your footsteps.
I didn't
'cause
tell them what kind of disgusting
Yeah.
things I do on the air.
They would be
like
happy
some
to have
kind of
these
trained
opportunities.
monkey.
There's no doubt about it.
But no, it was really good, and the kids were engaging. I did talk about some of my legitimate parts of my career, and newspaper journalism.
There was a
and
time.
winning, like sharing a
You won
Pulitzer
awards,
Prize and all that, and then now how it's really all gone to
You
seed.
mentioned the Pulitzer.
No, well, to one of the two classes,
Oh,
It was
there
two
you
different
Do
sessions.
they know what that means?
Yeah,
Does that
no.
still carry weight
None
to
of the
kids?
kids even knew what a
Who the hell
newspaper
it was?
was.
Yeah.
I asked them
Is
to
that a
raise their
dry cleaning
hands.
company? What is it?
I said in the room, I said, if anybody here still get a newspaper or read a newspaper, and the only hands that went up were all the teachers and other panelists.
And they raised hands? Did even they raise hands?
Oh yeah, the panelists.
Okay,
Some
they-
of them did.
they
Yeah,
did.
The
There's no one
teachers.
guy.
No, and it was a fun session, and but to hear myself talk about reinvention and staying, hip to
Oh, there
how
you
I
go.
used to be, slaving over a typewriter
Yeah,
that was a manual typewriter, or working on these very rudimentary machines, the Trash 80 Radio Shack computer, and sending stories in with the telephone acoustic couplers. These are crazy.
Did you have to use
the
the alligator clips ever?
I did all
I'm
kinds
sure
of
Tony
things.
did, where you took a payphone, you took the cap off a payphone,
Right.
and then you had a tape recorder, and you would attach these clips
That was a radio
to the
thing.
wires inside,
Yeah.
like you were MacGyver, and that's how you transmitted sound.
When I hear alligator clips and you, I think of some reason.
Well, that was more
That's called a
common,
roach
yeah.
clip, but,
That's a
But
roach
there was
clip.
nothing like dictating to some guy that was actually like trying to stay with you as you were going. And then he threw a left hook from the basement of the Olympic Auditorium on the one payphone that everybody wanted to use. And you're sitting there going, and in the second round, and people are screaming and they're throwing crap at you. It was great. That was the early days of journalism.
well, with the couplers where we
Oh,
would
look out,
transmit
man. Look at
stories
this, Brian.
This was a
Out of
this
his
we
was
did
a
a-
Mayo
Oh.
request.
Look
Hey,
out.
His famous
got
lobster.
here,
mac
Brian
and
is
I think
cheese.
that
just
lobster
dropping
roll
in stuff.
disappeared somehow. It fell on the ground.
We
Brian.
gotta
Whatever
we're gonna
happened
get
with
Tony on soon.
Yeah.
But first we've got to display this.
We need his
wonderful
review.
lobster mac and cheese. And again, usually I'm not a big fan of
The whole
like
thing.
lobster on anything except kind of a lobster roll or a lobster by itself because
No,
it's
lobster
so
mac
sweet.
and cheese is great.
But this lobster
Yeah.
mac and cheese here, when he gets that, you see that brown crust on
But
it?
okay, so I have to.
That's that crusty, crunchy bits, which I absolutely love.
We talked about this the other day, and I don't know if it was
Yeah,
that I was a traitor or
But
whatever
look
it
at
was.
this thing, man.
But I live out west, and Brian knows that. So sometimes it's easier for me to use purveyors out west. And my wife, a place we used to go before we found Wicked to get mac and cheese. It became a tradition every year to get her
That's great.
lobster mac and cheese from there, and I get a lobster from
Let's
somewhere
let
else.
Brian come on
Yeah,
for
of
a
course.
second. I have
We love
questions
Brian.
for the
Yeah,
man, and
yeah.
I know it's busy.
So
it's
we got the
lunch
lobster
hour.
mac and cheese,
Let's get Tony. in
and
here,
they give
too.
you
We're
some
gonna get
stupid
Tony
cup
soon.
of lobster, and I'm like, I
No.
told you we should have gone to Wicked, and this is why we go to Wicked because it gives you freaking chunks of lobster in
Look
your
at
lobster
this,
mac
man.
and
Mayo,
cheese.
come on.
All right, does the man
Look at this
have a headset? There's the headset.
Yes, sir.
Brian, the proprietor, owner, Wicked Cheesesteaks,
Oh, my God.
and
look at that. Are you kidding me?
pizza and wings and lobster rolls and more. How are you doing today? What's going on?
It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Good,
peak
good.
season. You got international superstars coming in here, but you don't want to blow anybody's cover. You've got again more glowing praise on Let's Eat. I don't know if you saw somebody was in the other day. That post has gotten
Yeah.
20,000 views. A guy named Scott Denton who goes
Very
around
nice.
town,
Very
and
nice.
I'm always gratified when people, find out about the group either through the show or on Let's Eat South Florida, and they come check it out for themselves. And not everybody is going to love everything, but if you have any sense, you've been in the business a long time. But you guys
We
provide
need some
great
sixth sense. That's
Yeah.
about it.
So let's talk about. You have this idea that it's still in development, but you want to
Exactly.
tell people
So
what
what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to do not a lobster challenge, but
cheesesteak,
a cheesesteak challenge.
big
a
bite monster,
big bite
cheesesteak.
monster cheesesteak,
Wicked
5-pound
sub.
cheesesteak.
Yep.
If you eat the whole thing, it's for free. If you get a T-shirt and you get your picture on the wall
If you
kind
eat
of-
it within 30 minutes,
within 30
and
minutes.
you got to consume the whole thing. There's no little bits of.
Oh, and there is a time limit.
Yeah,
yeah,
30
30
minutes.
minutes.
I didn't expect people to be here for 5 hours, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
30
And it's
minutes.
like one person, and after you complete it, you can't do it again, and you can keep on trying. Every day you can try it for
If
a
you,
year.
if you
want.
don't
Oh my
complete it, you do have to. You
And
have
Holy
to
Cross
pay.
is right there.
What kind of do you have to show an insurance card when you get
Yeah,
it?
exactly. I mean, the hospital's right across the street. You
It's
know,
perfectly
The
located.
defibrillators are standing by. No, but what prompted this? Because you were saying something that is true. Is that you see there's different places around
something-
different cities
yeah.
have food
Oh,
challenges.
yeah.
Actually, I'm copying Tony Luke's. I admit it, but
That's fine.
Imitation is a sincerest
Yep,
form
yeah,
of flattery.
exactly,
100%.
exactly. But it's going to be a great hook because then we can film it.
Yep.
And then we can post it on our Facebook page, and
Yep.
some people can try to follow it, and it can bring some people in, and it's a lot of fun.
So
How
again,
big is this sandwich?
I
though,
just haven't
compared
figured out
to,
the bread yet. That's it. I'm a baker, so I mean, that's
maybe
gonna
like
be
a
the-
whole
I was
Italian
thinking
He's
loaf.
thinking
yeah.
about French bread or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a whole
exactly,
5
exactly.
pounds, so you have to
But
consume.
what would the sandwich look like in terms of size? I mean, how would it compare?
What's
to
five-
pizza?
I'm
I mean,
How much
Thinking
is
of,
on the
like-
standard Philly cheesesteak? How much meat? I'm not just
It's a half a pound.
so a half a pound.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be 10
the equivalent of 10
cheesesteaks.
cheesesteaks.
Yes.
and fries. He wants to be mean, and you have to
I
eat
threw the
fries
fries
with
in on
cheese
the
whiz
last
on it.
leg. You know what I mean?
Is there
Maybe
a
the-
height
maybe
and
the
weight
fries
limit
is-
for the entrance? A height and weight limit? Any kind of limitations on
It
that?
doesn't matter though. Like who's eating 10 cheese?
Joey Chestnut is welcome to come in anytime.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
I think it's a good hook. You know, we're kind of like I say all the time, we're in a tough little spot. People say a federal highway, you know, but it's it's
very easy to find.
Yeah,
it's a great spot.
It's going to be like a little bit of a hook, you know, and it's something that people could follow, like on Facebook.
But you're right. There's not really anything like in New Orleans. There's places that have like oyster eating challenges, and you get on the wall.
Well, then Shula's like 50 ounces of steak.
Right.
Or something.
They used to have one. The original Shula's Steakhouse, which Tony knows well, had that porterhouse challenge.
Yeah.
And if you ate it
so
all,
there's really no one's doing
nothing
it
left.
No, right now, no.
So this is brilliant.
It's open territory.
Yeah.
And
look at this guy. This guy right here. He could eat it.
When do you think you might institute this and get this up and running?
Basically, I'm working on the T-shirts, and then
the wall right here.
We're gonna do like a little Hall of Fame, and
so
I think it could be fun.
We were talking
there
about
was a customer that brought it up actually, and I'm like, hey, maybe that's a good little.
I think it's a great idea.
Everybody needs a thing, and again, you get a chance to do it if you complete it in a half hour. 5-pound cheesesteak, all the trimmings. Right. You get your name on the wall. You get a T-shirt, and you get the cheesesteak itself for free. But if you don't succeed, then what happens? You got to pay. And how much is it going to be? About $50.
About $50.
$50. That's not bad.
But that's not bad, actually. That's like a part. It's actually a party
That's for
sub.
10 cheesesteaks.
That's actually a nice party sub.
Yeah.
You won't need to eat again for at least 2 or 3 days. So that $50 right
you might not be able to.
My question is, do you think you can do it, Mike Mayo?
Well, what are the odds on Mayo? I mean, have you posted on
Mike Mayo is going to be the first one. Is going to be the virgin.
See, my idea was to save Mayo's life.
Okay, right. I love you, Brian.
Can the three of us try to do this?
I know you have faith in me.
Yeah.
However, I know myself. If I try to do it, I don't want to be a quitter. I want to give it the college effort.
Right.
I see myself getting through 4.5 pounds of it and then just keeling over.
No.
And I want to live.
I want him to live.
There are people who get, really
get into
that food challenge. Yeah. I've become more of a sprinter. You give me one big bite, I'll shove in one big bite. But 5 pounds. So what Lubie's idea is, we'll come in and do like a relay team effort, whether the three of us, whether the three of us,
and Tony Segredo,
and it gives you a chance. Actually, the four of us.
Segredo is a surprise.
I think it weighs more than him.
Segredo can eat.
Segredo is a surprise.
But we have to do it in 30 minutes.
Mayo.
Yeah.
So 4 people get about 8 minutes each, a little less than 8. 7
I think you eat until you need a break.
Each of us
need the next person
cut it in quarters. We each have a pound and a quarter in 8 minutes, and then if all of us can complete it within 30 minutes. We'll have like
but you know who our anchor leg is? It's Mayo.
Mayo's
our anchor leg is Mayo. We're all tagging off to Mayo, and whatever's left, he's going to finish.
So what's your opinion about the fries? That's too far.
I think that's overkill, but
I
love that.
Oh, you're putting fries on top of it?
No, fries.
No, he's going to make you
whiz.
Also eat fries with
fries
whiz.
too?
If it's included, it's 5 pounds
Tony
total.
Luke's, they don't do the fries.
As long as the total weight is 5 pounds, if you want to make it harder with some starch,
that's on you.
I'd say
I'm not in favor of the fries.
Yeah, I think he's being mean.
Well, I'm just trying to think like a businessman.
You can just
His
eat the
cost
fries.
basis with fries instead of ribeye.
Oh, for sure.
It's like the salad bar at one of those Brazilian, steak places.
Don't fill up on the
fries
salad
are great.
bar at Chima.
Fries are really good.
Nothing but the protein. Brian, we're going to let you get back to
I got
that you do. We're going to bring in Tony
Segredo. It's a big hit. The pizza's a big hit.
Well, the pizza's fantastic.
And by the way, Lubie actually had a spectacular idea. Because this doesn't have red sauce on it, the cheese whiz on top of it gives it that little bit of saltiness that I think it needs. So, I would kind of maybe recommend what they call the hand sell when they order.
Yeah, but I like the idea of letting people do it on their own because it is rich and not everyone
Somebody could say, hey, you want a little cup of whiz with that?
Yes.
It actually enhances the pizza.
Yes, you serve it with whiz.
Serve it with whiz. Okay. Brian, always great to see you. We're going to be dealing with the challenges soon. And you know what? Let's take our first break.
Yes, let's do it.
We'll
say
a quick hello to Tony Segredo and welcome him. Maiden voyage here for you at Wicked Cheesesteaks. What do you think?
This is awesome.
It is awesome.
He loves it.
No, it's not just awesome. It's wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome.
Wicked good.
As a New Englander.
Wicked good. I've got a couple of my buddies with New England roots. We all met at the sports department of the Boston Globe as interns, Nighthawks.
Are they here?
And so they're on their way, and I assume it's Ben and Ed, former Sun Sentinel colleagues as well. But I figured they would appreciate a place that has New England, roots between Maine and Brian was saying he's actually born in Lowell, Massachusetts, and raised in Kenny Bunkport, Maine.
I'm in Vermont.
You're in Vermont. We got a whole bunch of New Englanders, and it's always good to see. What else is great to see? Our friends at Batch, New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 525 North Federal Highway. I might do a double today. I might go right from here, and take my buddies for a couple of those cocktails. Like Batch, yeah. Again, we're going to have some great food here at Wicked Cheesesteaks, but go on down Federal Highway, 525 North, right in the heart of downtown near Flagler Village and Victoria Park. They've got the free parking in the garage next door in the apartment building. You get 4 hours complimentary parking, makes it a very easy in and out experience. And they have great Southern cuisine that's for lunch, dinner, weekend brunch, and the cocktails are unparalleled. They have their own pecan-infused whiskey that they use in some of their cocktails, and they also sell. Shirley,
I bought it. Yeah, it's great.
He actually bought a bucket. He didn't learn very well from me. He didn't snore it. He actually bought it, and it's
my wife doesn't allow the snoring. She sucks.
Man. So much.
I tried. Believe me, I tried.
So much scruples,
but it was worth it. It's fantastic.
Somebody has to uphold what limited reputation we have.
Standards, exactly.
Yes, I was telling kids today.
Class.
The only thing that you have is your
integrity.
And
integrity. Yeah, your stomach.
It's all about that. And again, it is all about integrity at Batch because they are lunchbox approved.
Yeah.
Kevin and crew came on as sponsors after inviting us in, and we had a wonderful brunch experience there. And I tell you, that chicken and waffles and that spiced shrimp, eggs Benedict, unbelievably good hollandaise sauce, everything you get there. And again, they have things on the lighter and healthier side of the street, the Cobb salad, also that coffee rubbed flank steak that they had, iron steak, unbelievably tender and good. Go in there, check it out. All kinds of different things. They're open every day, and tell them the lunchbox sent you.
I tell you, Taco Craft had a hell of a salad there. Did you? I'm still thinking about that.
That whole corridor.
That was across the street and other locations. But that kale salad, which you would never think like, oh, kale, what am I doing? Like you were talking about. Well, you had the broccoli rabe thing going, and like people for some reason have a negative, response to that. But I've never been like a big advocate of kale, but that salad was absolutely fantastic.
They just stumbled in a couple,
and they make a nice house margarita there too.
Yeah, the margarita is
a couple of our fine sponsors right there in the same location.
All right, good double spot. All right,
you knew these guys.
Ed and Ben have just joined us, along with Tony Segreto,
unbelievable.
Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubitz on the mixing board. We got a cheesesteak pizza. We got a lobster mac and cheese. And we'll be back with more from Wicked Cheesesteaks after these words.
Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting. Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. We're back on the Lunchbox, and we're at Wicked Cheesesteaks, 4826 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard in fabulous Fort Lauderdale.
Where do you
We've
get
got
anything like
Tony
this?
Segreto with a whoopie pie.
And now that we've got Tony Segreto next to me, broadcasting legend, I say whoopie. And have you seen one of these in a while?
No, my God.
I think it's a Maine thing. I mean,
It's a Vermont thing.
It's a New England thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's excited. Meanwhile, Brian, the owner here, proprietor with his wife, Sonata is from the Philly area. And Brian grew up in Maine, Kennebunkport. And he lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw the legendary Tony Segreto. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Feels good.
And,
Feels real good.
And what do you think of this location so far, this restaurant?
This is so good. It is the lobster mac and cheese was great. I had a lobster roll.
Yeah, that disappeared in about. You did Joey Chestnut warp speed on consuming that lobster roll. Did you see
Did
that?
he feel like he was back home, Vermont? Maybe just trailing his way into Maine.
It took me the entire first segment, but you thought it went real fast.
Because I looked over, it was there, and I looked back, and it was gone. So, and do you like that style? I guess he does it like the true Maine style, just lightly dressed with mayonnaise.
That's perfect.
Yep.
You know, the lobster rolls in New England, they're legendary. And if you don't have a good lobster roll, then you don't have then the rest of the stuff on your menu is not going to be good.
Well, Brian does a first-class job. He actually steams the lobsters fresh daily, so you're not getting any frozen cryovac meat like some of these famous food trucks sell. Cousin's Lobster. But he actually takes pride in, getting the real stuff. And I've seen it before in the back where they're opening up the bodies and getting, taking all the stuff out of the shells and the tails and then chopping it up. It's part of what makes Wicked Cheesesteak really a little bit elevated more than some of these other sub shops or chains that you see up and down this block. And I just love quality, and I'm attracted to it. And Defo, you were the one who actually found this place.
I didn't really find it. I found it courtesy of Let's Eat South Florida, which I know you've been embittered by your administrative position, and you have somewhat of a negative view of your own, livelihood there with Let's Eat South Florida and the thing that you're concentrating on. But what I found, and this is true, and I think all of the people that follow us on here and follow the site, the page, would agree that if you see a consensus of people and they're all raving about a place, there's a good shot that's a pretty good place. All right. So I saw many, many favorable things. Now, there have been, just like with all of our people that we sponsor and the people that we visited, there's always somebody that had a bad experience or had no lemon in their water or whatever. But in general, if you follow the gist of what people are saying, you will find some really good places, which I have. And
you're really good.
Of them. And now it's in an area here where there was another Philly cheesesteak place that opened up, I would say, about 2 years ago. And then subsequent to that, I mean, within a couple of miles of here, a third one opened up. So, I mean, you have three people, in a small area that are doing essentially the same thing. But Brian, I believe, does it better than anybody.
Well,
and then on top of that, he features this kind of variety where not everybody's a cheesesteak fan. I happen to love them. I mean, you can't get me enough cheesesteaks in my lifetime.
Okay.
I love them. I love the chicken Philly. I mean, it's just great, and he has a great presentation. But because he has all this variety, you have things happen where families can come here, or people that even have like bizarre tastes or whatever, they can find something to their satisfaction.
Yeah, he does things now. He even has like full Italian dinners where you could get like spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah,
and his pizzas are underrated. I mean, like you wouldn't think of getting a great pizza. Ruby says it all the time. But wow, he's got the right oven, and he makes a great pizza for a place like this.
For this place, you're right, Lee.
Yeah.
He's also got the 2-slice and soda special going now. So if people who do want to have a nice, value lunch, you come in and grab a couple of slices and a soda. One of his beautiful.
And you have to dig that soda selection because it is unique.
Yeah, it is.
Where he's gone out of his
you're
way
right
to find
about
these.
that. This place, it's a hole in the wall, but you got great food here.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Now we've got Lubie back on the headset. He seems to be hoarding some items over there.
I don't want to take up any tables. You guys have sort of forgotten that.
Well, what's in those styrofoam? He's got off the camera side.
Because I think he's bringing more food, and I want to make sure the table's clear.
No, he's hoarding that for later. He's got something saved
up. You can have the food. I don't care about the food. I'm just trying. I'm worried about space. I know no one else is, but just in case he has a rush, I want people to be able to sit down.
So concerned about others. That is why we love selfless Lubie. You didn't tell me what's in those boxes.
The Philly cheese and Tony's lobster roll.
Oh.
Yeah, you can have the food.
I already saw Tony eat a lobster roll, so that's not Tony's lobster
garbage.
Roll. Yeah. No,
it's garbage.
You tell me.
Garbage, and I'll throw it away.
This is what is
one
it?
is a Philly cheese.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to clear space, and then
I thought
Tony.
We know his game.
You called him.
She's on a diet. She's not eating.
And what's in that
garbage?
One?
Is this garbage? Okay, then I'll throw it
that's Tony. Okay, well, anyway, now we're all set. You don't have to throw it out right now. All right.
He's got to throw it out now.
He's
got to throw it out.
You know what
now.
I'm starting to realize about Lubie? Besides the fact that he's totally insane,
no,
he's a little OCD. Weird. Like I didn't realize
a little.
The thing is, I'm actually not. I would be very easy for me to not care, but then the four of us wouldn't care. So someone has to care.
I haven't seen the chat line today. Is anybody on there?
Yeah, there's a lot of chatting
to address something that Don Jaffe, who I thought is friend of the show, tunes in every day, takes part in the Gulfstream brunch contest. Good guy, right? But he, when
he gets under your skin.
Somebody posted about the upcoming Visit Lauderdale International Whiskey Day dinner that's going to be on the 27th of March, and you can go online and get your tickets now at VLFoodWine.com. It's $99, but it's one of those special experiences where besides getting a 4-course meal prepared by these pit masters who don't usually cook for the public, they're usually in competitions or hired for private events. But they're also going to be a whiskey day beverage program of 4 different, cocktails made by Miles Robinson, award-winning, won bar fights one year at the food festival. And, so somebody else posted about the event and saying, oh, this looks like it's going to be good. And I just chimed in with a comment of like, I'll be there. And then Don, with friends like this, who needs enemies, he goes, so the question is, are you paying the $99 for it? And
of course,
why would you even ask a question?
Well, and I didn't respond to him.
But it's not that you wouldn't if you were a regular customer.
But you have.
But you're Mike Mayo.
No, there's 3 words: in-kind contribution. It's just like we have a relationship with the food festival, and Tony, look like. He has relationships with other, now that we're not working journalists anymore, all our ethics have basically gone out the window. So like if you happen to be on the Orange Bowl committee and they say, oh, here's a couple of tickets for you to have, again, in-kind contribution,
yes.
You give your energy and time to certain things.
You don't have to justify this. It would be appropriate for you to accept a freebie to go and look, you're already talking about it here on the air. And you're going to generate a lot of interest in this event.
But like for years, media have gotten press passes, right?
Is he out there?
That's going. I don't know if he is. That's going to a game for free, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going for free. If anyone's ever gone to work a game, it's not as fun as you wish it was. Like, especially nowadays,
true.
You have to be tweeting the entire time, be taking videos the entire time,
Yeah.
Going and doing the presser. It's fun the first time. After that, it's sort of a pain in the butt because you don't get much out of the presser. And it goes on forever. It takes sometimes an hour before they even start. And again, I'm not complaining about a dream job, but what I'm saying is
people don't realize
with every job, as fun as it seems, when the word job is attached to it, it's still a job. And a lot of these times events are at night when you've worked a long day. So I'm not complaining about a great job. What I'm saying is when oh, it's free for you. Yeah, but you don't understand what goes into me going and doing a show.
The grass is always greener on
did you
the
hear
other
that?
side.
It's the violence.
Yeah, you don't have to feel bad for
Honorable.
me, but I'm just saying, like, I think it's
You
funny when
should
people.
cry or complain about anything. man.
Don't feel bad.
I'm not crying.
I'm not complaining either, but it's like,
I'm
dude.
not, and I guess I shouldn't even be justifying.
Yeah.
but
You don't need to justify.
It is
though,
work.
yeah.
You know, it is really hard to just sit there.
This is
and
what you
take
do.
course after course and eat one of those Dino
and have them treat you like a
beef
king and
ribs
be
and
worried, concerned
have all
about
these
your
expertly
most
crafted
idiosyncratic
cocktails.
whim. I mean, that's,
What kind of life? I
I
mean,
don't know, we
these
have a good
kids.
life. I don't know what to tell you down.
These kids today, they probably saw me and said, "Yes, I want to be him when I grow
Yeah, of
up."
course.
And they want your
you
belly.
should have shown them before and
I don't
after
want the
pictures.
belly. I
Ed
don't
is
want the
looking at
belly.
me like I just came in and have 3 heads. It's yes, it is incredible that this is what I do with my life
Yeah.
and days right now. Now I'm hearing things.
Who knew
The
when he was
battery-
Ray
battery.
Sports?
Once again, the guy who
Mayo's
obsesses
favorite.
about the garbage never remembers to plug in the computer until
There
we're
you
right
go.
on the verge
That's
of
really hasn't
crapping
happened
out.
in like a year,
It's-
and it actually shows you how little
Isn't that
OCD I
incredible?
am. 'Cause if I
Wasn't he
was
saying
OCD, I
that at
wouldn't
least
have done
one
that.
person cares about the show? He
And
doesn't
he
even
didn't
plug
even
in a
take
battery.
the gummy
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
That's
No,
the
I'm
incredible
not on
part.
gummies.
Care about the show.
He'll really be a
I was
mess
talking
after
about
that.
caring about the space. I mean, I don't care that much about the show.
Gummy bears straight from Humboldt County,
All right, let's
California.
not talk about that. It's
Anyways.
a medical card that
Yes.
was able to
Humboldt
procure
County.
them.
Remember that location?
Humboldt
Mr.
County.
Healdsburg,
I've been through
California.
Humboldt
Yeah.
County.
I mean, if you're getting wine from Healdsburg, if you're getting a Chardonnay, I recommend it. Humboldt County gummy bears. Boom.
Okay,
But you're right.
There you
let's
go.
go back to talking about
The whoopie pie, the
moon
origins
pies,
of a whoopie pie.
pies,
Whoopie
whatever
pie.
you call it. Can you describe it, Tony? What's in here? It's like
It's a cake on the outside. It's like a big Oreo.
I would say a devil dog, if for those who
Devil
know
dog.
Drake's cakes.
It's kind of a devil dog,
Devil
but
dog.
there was another thing. It wasn't the ring ding because that had a chocolate covering on it.
No.
But there was another. It wasn't a devil dog, but
Yodel?
it was some other name for that besides.
I would call that a devil dog. It was like
because
that.
I always thought of the
chocolate
moon pie as
sponge
having
cake.
marshmallow in it.
Yes,
I would-
and it's
I-
not marshmallow, right? Isn't
graham
that
crackers.
frosting?
Is this whipped
This is
cream?
Fluffernutter.
Fluff. It is.
I think.
Did you ask him? Let's
Oh,
open it up.
I-
That's
I-
last night.
It's cream. It's
Tony.
whipped cream. Yeah.
I think it's
Take
just
a couple of bites
straight
of that
whipped
thing,
cream,
yeah.
but it might be fluffernutter. It might be. We'll ask
What's
Brian.
inside that, Brian? Yeah.
That whoopie pie? Is it whipped cream? It is marshmallow.
Oh, I
Tony
got some
Segreto,
marshmallow in there.
New
yeah.
Englander, Vermont part-time resident, nailed it. And now
Combination of icing.
we're gonna
and
make
marshmallow.
him. We're gonna do an initiation for his first
Oh,
trip.
his
Tony,
big
a
bite.
big bite on the
is
moon
a
pie.
big bite of scooter pie.
See, now that would look good if you shovel that
and
in your face.
first of all, you got to make sure you get the microphone out of the way. Look, I'm telling
Listen to
you,
you.
Yeah, I
broadcast
love it.
guys,
You're telling him to not be clean.
You're so
Really?
lame,
How to
Mayo,
be
yeah.
clean.
do you forgive me?
He's become insufferable if he wasn't already,
No.
Tony. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'm just running on fumes at this point.
There
Block
you
of
go. There you
sleep,
go. Tony
Nice.
Segreto.
a lot of boost. That was a very dainty bite.
He's Tony
Hey,
Segreto.
he's
I mean,
Tony.
what'd you
He's
expect him to
class.
do?
He's not like you.
Mess his face up?
Yeah.
He even eats more daintily than Nicky Mohan. We haven't seen
No,
Nicky
Nicky
in a
knows.
You're
while.
breaking out a
But
knife. Oh my
I'm breaking
God.
out a knife
I
because
think
look at
Tony
what I'm
wanted
going
to take that home.
No,
We'll
he's
make
got
sure he has
more.
one to
We
go.
got more.
We'll make sure he has
Brian,
one to go.
look what
now
Man's doing. He's
it's not
destroying it. Oh my God, he took all of it.
I'm gonna,
Here
no,
we
I
go.
took
He's
half
going
of
to
it.
get his own. Tony
We're
will
gonna
have a. I will
We're
make
going to
sure.
do a patented Mayo big bite
Watch this
right
here,
here.
Brian. Here.
Here, guys. You guys
still want to
wanna-
be friends with this
Got
guy?
my
Watch this.
friends from the old Boston
I'm good, I'm
Globe
good. Thank you,
days,
man.
Sun Sentinel days, and they're going to be horrified and shocked by
Here we go.
the Mike Mayo Big Bite, the prelude to
Don't be
the
afraid to move the mic.
Big Bite
Yeah.
Wicked Cheesesteak Challenge that is soon to come to Wicked
All right, here we go.
Cheesesteaks. But maybe throw in a couple of these scooter pies at the end of the 5-pound cheesecake. Make them eat dessert beside the
This
cheesesteak.
is the feature moment of the show.
Look at this. Oh, you're going to eat the whole thing. Oh, Mayo.
God.
Mayo.
The entire store.
There's napkins in
grossed
front of
out.
your face, and then Tony gave you a.
Brian out of business. Hang
Look
the
at
sign.
this.
You're finished.
Look
That's
at
it.
this.
That was the
Look at
promotion
this.
for the show. He's paying for it. Unbelievable, man.
Let's take another break.
Yes, we need a break.
I'm leaving it to you.
All right. When we come
No,
back.
you have to finish. Don't
From
say
Wicked
anything, Lubie.
Cheese.
Don't bail him out.
Mayo?
Mayo?
No,
Go to
I
the
don't
break.
want dead air.
Tropical acres.
There you go.
All right,
Tropical Acres.
we're going
For Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox. For an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch on weekends. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox at Wicked Cheesesteaks. I just did a big bite of, what do they call it? Whoopie pie.
Whoopie pie.
Whoopie. I liked it. It was very devil doggish on the outside, but inside had that marshmallow fluffernutter interior, which just makes it a distinctly Wicked Cheesesteak.
Could you
experience.
eat both boxes of Malamars when you had Malamars? Remember, they came in the twin pack?
Oh, yeah.
With the yellow wrapping,
Oh, yeah.
with the Malamar
Oh,
on it.
yeah.
And then, you remember these things?
Yeah.
Of course. It was my dad's favorite. We usually did.
Well, that was great.
He'd have one, and I'd have the other, and we'd just do it in one sitting while we watched the Johnny Carson show back in the day.
You'd leave one for your brother, after eating like the other
stray
16.
hitter. But getting back to the whoopie pie. So, again, one of the, glowing attributes of this place, besides having all the great lunch items like the pizza and the cheesesteaks and the mac and cheese, the desserts here. Brian's wife is a baker, Sonata.
Yes.
She makes all these things.
Oh, does she?
from scratch.
Yes.
The scooter pies. They have great black and white
Black and white cookies, fantastic.
Yeah, I always
Black and
leave
white.
here with a
It's
couple
almost
of
like
those.
a cake.
And classic, deli black and white cookie, a New York tradition. They also have all kinds of cakes and pies in the display case.
Yep.
They have a chocolate peanut butter pie that my daughter loves, and all kinds of things. So, when you come in here and you're going to take some stuff to go, make sure you also pick up a little bit of dessert.
Some sweets,
'cause
yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see what. Oh, I had more notes about a sponsor.
is this
Our
guy
good
doing?
friend Qui Lamb. We were supposed to be there earlier this
down.
week. He had a little family emergency. We're hoping to get out there soon. But he announced that they're going to be Kaizen, which is just down the road, right on
right down the
Federal
street.
5640 North Federal Highway. Kaizen Sushi, great sushi. They are going to be open for lunch weekdays,
Nice.
starting March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Cool.
So again, he has been open for lunch on the weekends, but now for all the people that work nearby, a lot of demand for going in for a quick sushi lunch. He's going to be able to offer that, and hopefully we're going to get in and do a lunchbox show when there will be lunch service, so people can come in, fans of the show, and get some of his great sushi. And I don't know if he has any lunch combo specials going on. I'm sure he's going to have all kinds of things now to celebrate the arrival of weekday lunch. Just communicating with our friend Pat Utter down at Shenanigans Sports Bar and Grill. And we're hoping to get in there. I think we're just waiting final confirmation. A show next Monday, the 11th, because you know why? Lubie, it's a sports bar. What's upcoming?
Oh, the tournament. Oh, yeah. The Selection Sunday will be that
Sunday. But better yet, you know,
tourneys will be that week.
Conference tourney, Selection Sunday, previewing the big March Madness. A great place to watch all the sporting events, even the Heat and the Panthers are on a roll and they keep winning. It's a great place to check out 1300 South Federal Highway. But beyond that, the man's name is Patrick.
Oh, St.
Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day. It's like the biggest day of the year for him.
He actually took Selection Sunday over St. Patty's Day.
When I was in college, I would have remembered that first. It's been a while now,
Pat Utter, okay, it's weird because St. Patrick's Day actually falls on a Sunday.
Cabbage, man. Everybody has it.
It falls on Sunday this year, Sunday,
nice. That's
March
great.
17th.
Oh, that's great.
The weird thing is all these cities, because of various things and being able to book the musical acts, Hollywood, the city of Hollywood has its annual St. Patrick's Day parade. Not on March 17th, but this Sunday, the 10th. And I believe that Pat usually serves as one of the grand marshals because Shenanigans sponsors a float. And so he usually rides down Hollywood Boulevard. He's the king of the Irish. With his,
he's the
man. Oh, he does, really?
He passes out the green beads and stuff. So we'll get the whole wrap up of that on Monday, but also preview, again, at Shenanigans itself. He brings in, he had like 2 tons of chicken wings for the Super Bowl Sunday. I think he brings in about 2 tons of corned beef for St. Patrick's Day. The man makes,
he sell out.
He makes an excellent corned beef sandwich throughout the year. It's one of those places, forget, Jewish delis as much as, Grandpa's does a great job with the Carnegie brand, but Pat makes and cooks his own corned beef, and it's great. It's a great sandwich on the regular lunch menu. Meanwhile,
this thing's fantastic. I took a little nibble here.
This is a new item.
He's had it. We've just never had it.
Fantastic.
We've never had it before.
I think you need to do it with the bread, though.
Well, no. What I think is you might think it's a meatball. I think it might be the new chicken meatball.
No,
he said it's
straight meatball.
It's straight meatball.
He wanted to do chicken meatballs more fresh, and right now,
I think you're going to take the full.
But we've never had their meatball parm sub, so I was like, why don't you try that?
Well, I demolished all.
You're not really a nibbler, though. Come on, Mayo.
Use a knife.
I've done my trained monkey thing for the year. And
I'm gonna sit and watch.
Tony,
I'm not that OCD because I'm hanging out. Even though
you're a big guy with the
frustrated to watch both of them futz with this sub. I'm sitting here calmly.
You are very calm.
You got to cut a piece off yourself.
I'm gonna do lots of cutting, but you were doing surgery. He wanted his shot at surgery.
No, this is good.
It's okay. For Segredo, I will cut a piece because he's a human being. Not raised by the wolves as my other 2 co-hosts. So,
oh god,
cut him up a piece.
Meanwhile, we've got people streaming in from across the street, Holy Cross Hospital and Health Complex. They do a great job there.
Great place. If you got to go get surgery or anything,
Mayo's been there.
I've been there several times.
Was there recently.
Hard to believe.
We have a timeshare there. What are you talking about? I got a week a year. I could go in there. Yeah.
The best part of checking into Holy Cross is when Brian,
the research department.
When Brian shows up and bearing all kinds of gifts and things.
He was a big hit. We did a lot of campaigning over there when I was in the hospital. Brian came over and visited a couple of times. I think we sent half of the hospital in here, and they all were amazed by the lobster roll.
Nice.
Got rave reviews, and it was a lot better than the hospital food. And here's a rule of thumb for the Let's Eaters out there: never have the seafood in a hospital.
Oh, good.
You don't want them to make the fish.
Kind of like never buy meat from the back of a truck. I think that's one of the food rules to live by.
I don't think
you
that's
had
a
a
good
nurse
one,
over here laughing at you, Defo. Never tried the seafood at the hospital.
Not even on a Friday during Lent. Like Seafood Newburgh is something that
it's a hospital. So, I don't know if they're getting it from the fresh waters of South Florida.
When I
getting it from the canals.
Yeah. When I paid a visit to Defo when he was stricken, I went in there. He showed me the menus. It was like being at the old Peking Duck House. They had column A, column B. They had so many options. It was crazy to me, the menu.
It was a case like most of the Keys hotels. It doesn't look the same as the brochure. Once you get there. Never looks the same as the brochure.
Holy Cross is known for its food.
No, they're very good in
Holy
general.
Cross is known for its food.
I would have to say.
We're going to have to consult with our resident
Andy
hospital
is
expert,
our
Andy Peters, out
consultant,
there.
our
He has been
correspondent.
posting on Let's Eat over the last year as he's gone through different health issues. The reviews of food at Westside Regional, JFK Hospital.
Key lime or meringue?
Key lime. I don't know what's going on here. We're getting you want to get on there and explain to people what's going on here, because besides trying to kill me and send me across the street, I've got here more. I've got this. Don't take that. I'm still eating it. Kidding. Wicked Cheesesteak. He can just get okay. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. I can't even process.
You're lost here for a second, man.
Yeah.
But refocus. You'll be all right. You got Tony
Focus.
Segura there.
Okay, we've got Brian off camera, but he just brought us some. What do we got going here?
My wife has a personal problem with this key lime pie and Mike Mayo. So let's see if
what do you mean the problem?
Because you gave us a bad review on it one time at a restaurant.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm notorious for giving bad reviews of key lime pies to some of my favorite people, like Beth Gilbert.
Yeah, he's upset many people with his BS. Yeah, no, nobody cares.
Yeah, she says give him a piece of key lime pie, see if he can keep his mouth shut.
Well, here's what I like about this pie. It has whipped cream and not meringue, so I'm always on team whipped cream when it comes to key lime pie. I'm gonna go in on the crust. We got like a classic
basic crust
pastry.
Yeah.
It's
but you only hope he doesn't insult the sponsor.
I don't see any. It's just a pastry shell crust, and with the key lime component and whipped cream. And here I go. I'm gonna go in on it. It's very good.
Whoa! What do you know, man? Is Brian sitting there with a baseball bat?
It's creamy. Again, it's a little bit on the looser side. It's not that firm, almost frozen type.
Which is the way most people like it, Mayo.
But
right? Most people.
Yeah.
And the balance between sweet and tart is perfect.
So there you go. Something positive, man.
She's not mad anymore. So
that's good. And tell me, what restaurant was that?
Casablanca. You whacked her on it.
Oh, Casablanca was a total. Well, all right, let's not go there.
That's a story for the
all right, we're not going to tick off Tim Petrillo anymore. Believe that or not, that was 4 years ago when it was my final.
You think it was 4 years
at
ago?
the Papal. I know it was 4 years ago. It was March of 2020. It was right before I left the paper, took the buyout, and so I went into Casablanca Cafe that had at that point been kind of secretly taken over by the restaurant people. Tim Petrillo does a great job with so many restaurants in town. But that one, he didn't even want to announce that they had taken it over because he knew it was still kind of a work in progress. And I ticked him off because I went in there to review it. I wanted to wait, but I knew I was leaving. And to me, it's one of those places, such great location.
Yeah,
so many people love it. And I wanted to kind of goaded into maybe getting a little bit better. And he started offering breakfast service there. And the breakfast was, it was the year 2020, and the coffee was just dreadful.
Yeah, I remember the part of it. And the key lime pie.
I didn't say, did I say the key lime pie?
The key lime pie. That's okay.
Oh my God, everybody remembers.
You're not going to live that down.
I'm never going to live it down.
I just wanted to make her laugh.
Yeah.
She's like,
no way.
It was good. It was a good day of laughs.
I'm going to tell you one thing now. I'm going in.
Now he's going to finish.
A little loose on the texture, but the flavor is on
because it wasn't as cold.
Yeah.
It's a good mix. I mean, she got number 5 in the state, so
it's good.
Nice.
Well, you know how much.
It was good sales until he whacked it at Casablanca.
Everybody's getting strawberry shortcake.
You see me sweating now?
Take a break.
She does the greatest thing. Let's take our final break.
One place that you don't really mock at all, actually. It's funny. That's true. You do always have a critique, except for when we go to Delaware. You're just noticing how empty the case is over here when it comes to stone crabs. But other than that,
when I want those jumbos and larges or colossals, and I just press my nose against the window, and they always seem to be gone because they are in limited supplies. And when you get them as fresh and as good as they have them at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market in Hollywood, they're bound to go really fast. And you're going to want to go in there for, again, stone crab season. It's unbelievable. The clock is ticking. There's basically about less than 2 months left. It ends May 1st. And it's one of those seasonal delicacies, and that's one of the things that they excel at.
Yeah, we're getting to the nitty-gritty.
At Delaware, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. And again, we've got Easter, Good Friday, Easter coming up, followed by Passover. All those holiday celebrations and dinners. You're going to want to get your supplies at Delaware. Great for the family feasts, great for everyday cooking. Tony, you are always enthralled by the sausage.
The sausage is outstanding.
The display is amazing. Yeah, they do have a ton of different kinds of sausage.
The traditional Italian hot and mild. They also have house-made turkey sausage, chicken sausage, using all their great
products. There's like a chicken garlic. They do a bunch of them.
And you're also fixated on those turkey legs, which now everybody's going to the Renaissance Festival these weeks, and everybody's starting around with their turkey legs. You could do it yourself at home. Just
you know
throw
what
a couple
I like?
Those legs on the grill.
The dips. Their dips are outstanding.
They really
salmon dip. He's a soup guy now.
Soups are phenomenal.
Total convert, a total chowder slut. We call Defo.
I was always a big fan of soups, well-made soups, and it's not easy to find. But I mean, there are a lot of places now to do them. But I would not have necessarily thought Delaware Chicken Farm was the place to go.
Turkey chili.
The stone crab chowder.
The stone crab chowder was amazing.
Everything they do there, they do it well. Go in there.
Very much first class.
Go check it out online, DelawareChicken.com. I believe the website is still being worked on, reconstruction. So that's why it's better to just go in live and in person and just be amazed at their selection, price, value, and, of course, the service. They'll take great care of you. Delaware Chicken and Seafood. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Oh, and do we have any more breaks?
We have one more break.
Well, then this will be a fine time to take it.
Boom, right in.
More Lunchbox here at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox at Wicked Cheesesteak, and my oh my, Brian hit us with one last thing. The traditional meatball parm sub, and
it was great,
delicious.
Is there anything
great?
better than just like? Is there any better comfort food that just envelops your stomach like a warm hug, like a meatball parm?
First sub sandwich I ever had was a meatball parm. My dad owned a little theater. He was doing some live productions in Oyster Bay, Long Island, and I had a lot of time to kill when I hung out with him at this place. So we would go to this Italian restaurant. First time I ever had what was considered a sub sandwich. It was a meatball sub.
Called back a hero back in the day.
Yeah, I was absolutely hooked on this. I mean, it was just absolutely scrumptious. And Brian brought that back, that same feeling. right now. I mean, that was tremendous.
It's tremendous. And again, depending where you grow up, like in New York, these would be heroes. In Massachusetts, they'd be like hoagies, right? Or
where is it a grinder? Where do they call it a grinder?
There's hoagies, there's subs. And it reminds me, when I see Ed and Ben, it reminds me of the best opening line known as a lead that I ever wrote in my whole journalistic career. It lasted 33 years, and I should have quit while I was ahead. When I was an intern at the Boston Globe, I got assigned to cover a high school soccer game, girls' high school soccer playoff game. It involved Sudbury, which was a town in Massachusetts, and Sandwich, which is a town on Cape Cod. And what happened was there was a late injury. Somebody came on to replace the injured player, and that girl scored a tie-breaking winning goal in the last 2 minutes of the game. And my lead was the sub from Sandwich became a hero. And that was it.
That was it.
Drop the mic.
Career over. You never came close to that since. All this business about there was an air of pretension when we stepped in for our 645 renovation.
This Brian's bringing out more stuff. Job well done, Brian. And if anybody charted the progression of this meal, you will realize I need an intervention. I went from cheesesteak pizza with, thanks to Lubie, the cheese whiz. Then I think there was like lobster mac and cheese, and then there was a scooter pie, and then there was what else?
Lemon pie.
There was savory,
key lime,
sweet,
and then a
key
meatball.
lime, and then a meatball grinder. It makes no sense. I might need a nap.
And you're going out the
or a trip across the street. The nurses are here.
They're right here. They're eating like they're going to the chair also, which is great.
And the fun continues tomorrow. We're going to be at Gulfstream Park for another Joe Beja 10 Palms Friday with a lunchbox Sunday brunch contest. Who knows what delights await in terms of the restaurant trivia and the horse race handicapping and the NBA tiebreaker this week. Tune in tomorrow to find out. Tony, will you be there?
I'll be there.
Defo, will you be there?
I'm in.
Lubie, you still
I sort of have to be there.
Okay. I'll be there. Maybe even Ben and Ed. Maybe
he's the only one of the four of us who cares. Remember that. Remember
that. Even Ben and Ed will show up, and we'll have them photobomb us tomorrow. By the way, one thing you never want to say at an airport, they started doing these where they take your picture on the spot. They don't just run your ID through. So like when I was going in to the airport, I ended up being behind Val when she got her picture taken, and they was like, no, we got to do it again. And I was like, oh no, I photobombed you. And I was like, oh shit, you can't say the word bomb in an airport. They immediately detained me. Wow. All kinds of cavity searches ensued. So when you see that, don't use the word photobomb.
Don't use that term, yes.
At an airport. Okay.
Excellent.
That's going to do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy every sandwich, sub, cheesesteak, the whole Kazara.